What are your thoughts on Jaguar Wright being mentioned all over national news?
Not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well.
The thing about her is, like, sometimes there's a lot of truth to what she's saying based on my personal experience. I'm not gonna say she's completely accurate all the time, but some of the things she said were things that I was actually thinking, but I was like, I could never say that because people would say I'm hating. But I know for a fact that, you know, the thing she said, like the thing they all have in common is, you know, R. Kelly and Puff and the Weinstein and Epstein. When someone gets on a national platform like that and it's said where everyone, I guess now he's gonna have to regulate that.
What if the glittering image of the music industry, the luxury, fame, and lifestyle was a smokescreen hiding something much darker? Imagine discovering that the very artists you look up to have been silenced, manipulated, and in some cases, destroyed by the industry that made them famous. This isn't just a wild conspiracy theory, it's the reality that Jaguar Wright, a former industry insider, has been relentlessly exposing in her candid interviews. Now, in a shocking turn of events, Dame Dash, co-founder of Roc-A-Fella Records, and someone who has long criticized the music industry, sat down with Piers Morgan to react to these revelations. What Dame Dash had to say will make you question everything you think you know about the entertainment business. Get ready to hear the truth behind the facade, the chilling reality that may forever change your perception of fame.
It's my own personal goal.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you gauge your success by how much love you have or how much money?
How much love I have. You know what the difference between you and I is?
What?
I have a lot of disdain for those same guys that you do, except I'm fighting them all the way to the
controlling them.
But the difference between me and you is instead of fighting them, I'm taking my daughter to the cupcake shop.
I got that.
I'd rather do that.
I got that. I got
to do that.
There's
and I
nothing
agree,
wrong with that.
I agree with you. You're 100% correct.
I got to have the puppies.
But for me, this is my journey and what I'm going to do.
I'm not judging you, bro. I'm just telling me. I'm not saying like that. I'm saying that's the difference. Like,
and I represent our community. I'm the only guy that does represent our community in the big world. And
I represent my community.
Yeah, shit, yeah, you did.
Someone I raised right now is sitting in the president right now. I raised him.
Take on those guys. Take them on, man. I want to see you take them on like I am.
I'm not. I just made a book about it.
The big guys.
How am I not? Listen, it's easy to say that when you have $1 billion. I take them down
not.
without the $1 billion.
It's hard.
Did you yell at them before you had the $1 billion?
Fuck.
You said be friends with him.
I did no.
You said be friends with him.
Listen, I respect them.
You said be friends with him. You said you had more success being friends with him. That's how you got in the door.
Oh no, yes.
I fight him head on.
Right.
I make books. I call it names out. Leor Cohen, Charlie Walk. I've calling out Harvey Weinstein 10 years ago, bro, and making movies at the same time.
And that's honorable.
I did it on my own. I funded Lee Daniels. I really walk it like I talk it. I put Jay-Z on, Kevin Hart on, Lee Daniels on, Rachel Roy on, everybody in my culture that's doing it I put on. The person that's sitting with the president right now I put on. Whether he's doing it right or wrong, we all have a voice. I gave the culture a voice, and I still fight for it, and I made him rich. Don't tell me what to do. You go Google me before you talk to me about that. Then you should know better.
Listen.
I walk it like I talk it.
We're coming from the same thing. I'm only explaining my point of view.
You
have yours.
I'm telling mine.
I understand yours is very passionate.
It's not passionate.
So
I walk
is mine.
it like I talk it.
But I do mine differently. But the end result is exactly the same.
The music industry is often painted as the ultimate dream, a world filled with wealth, fame, and limitless opportunities. But as recent revelations have shown, that dream can often turn into a nightmare for those who don't play by the rules. One of the most outspoken critics of this dark side is Jaguar Wright, a singer-songwriter who has worked with artists like The Roots and Jay-Z. She has made jaw-dropping accusations about corruption, exploitation, and even deeper, more sinister activities happening behind closed doors in the entertainment world. In a recent interview on the Piers Morgan show, Dame Dash, an industry veteran who helped build the careers of artists like Jay-Z and Kanye West, broke his silence about Jaguar Wright's shocking claims. Dame Dash has never been shy about criticizing the industry, and his candid response to Wright's accusations offers a rare insider perspective on what really goes on in the entertainment business.
You've been called a whistleblower. You knew Sean Diddy Combs for a long time. You attended a number of his infamous parties.
Until him and his cohorts are all held to account publicly and legally. The victims, they're not safe.
Right from the beginning of the interview, Dame Dash didn't mince words. When Piers Morgan asked about his thoughts on Jaguar Wright's accusations, Dash's response was both blunt and revealing. He acknowledged that the entertainment industry has always had a dark side, one that preys on the young, talented, and vulnerable. "The music business is a vulture's playground," he said. According to Dash, people are often drawn into the industry by the allure of fame and fortune, but what they find instead is manipulation, control, and exploitation at every turn. Dash explained that the structure of the industry is designed to keep artists dependent on labels and management teams, making them easy to control. "They don't teach you the business," Dash said. "They just keep you working, and when you're no longer useful, they find someone new." This toxic system has been in place for decades, according to Dash, and it's something he has been aware of for a long time. But what made this interview so powerful was Dash's willingness to confirm that much of what Jaguar Wright said was not only true, but well known among industry insiders. "If you've been in the game long enough, none of this is a surprise," he remarked.
It's this music. I mean, music has been around forever, but the music business has been around, what, 100 or so years?
Yeah, I think we're into 120 plus years of recordings.
Yeah, it's just amazing what an iron fist they've managed to control the business with and to sort of wrangle all the artists for the most part.
Even though it's a sort of weird business, I sort of like that because it doesn't have anything to do with music. When I first came to LA in whatever, 90 and had the meetings, and you'd be in that hit the office and the people with the beards and everything,
Yeah.
and they'd be like, "So when we put the product out," and every time they would say product, I would sort of wince.
Yeah.
Product, like, how can you call my art product? And that's, to them, it's cookies and toilet paper.
One of the main themes Dame Dash kept returning to during the interview was control specifically, how the music industry uses contracts, power, and money to control artists. He explained that record labels often offer artists contracts that seem appealing on the surface, but are filled with hidden clauses that trap them in long-term exploitative deals. "You think you're signing a deal that's going to change your life, but what you're really signing is your freedom away," Dash explained. He went on to detail how many artists lose ownership of their music, their image, and even their name. "There are people out there who don't even own their own stage names," Dash revealed. "The label does. They control everything." Piers Morgan pressed Dash to elaborate on this, asking how artists end up in these kinds of situations. Dash explained that the industry is set up to exploit young talent who often lack the business acumen to protect themselves. "When you're young and you just want to make music, you don't think about the fine print," Dash said. "You're just excited to have a chance. And the industry knows that. They take advantage of it." What's even worse, according to Dash, is that the industry doesn't care about the long-term well-being of its artists. "They'll drain you dry and then toss you aside when you're no longer profitable," he said. "I've seen it happen time and time again."
So the thing that I'm sort of obsessing about right now is friendship. There's an entire industry to help us be better leaders. There's an entire industry to help us be better parents. There's an entire industry to help us eat better, exercise better, sleep better.
Piers Morgan then asked Dame Dash about the mental health toll the industry takes on artists, especially considering Jaguar Wright's comments about how many musicians struggle behind the scenes. Dash didn't shy away from this topic either. "This industry is hard on your mind, man," he said. "People don't understand that fame can mess you up." According to Dash, the constant pressure to perform, combined with the manipulation and exploitation from the industry, often leads to artists suffering from depression, anxiety, and substance abuse. He mentioned that artists are expected to keep up appearances no matter what, creating an environment where they feel trapped by their success. "You can't show weakness," Dash explained. "People are always watching, always expecting something from you. That kind of pressure will break anyone down." Dash talked about how this pressure is even worse for artists who realize they've been taken advantage of by the very people who are supposed to help them. "It's one thing to deal with the pressures of fame," Dash said, "but when you add betrayal and exploitation into the mix, it's a recipe for disaster." He mentioned how artists, once they're no longer profitable, are discarded by the industry, left to deal with their mental health issues on their own. "When you're no longer useful to them, they throw you out like garbage," Dash said. And a lot of artists don't survive that.
The truth is when we log off from work, because that's what this is for us, it's work. It's just us. And do we talk about work? Yeah, we do. But we also talk about what we're having for dessert, or when we're going hiking. Or
At this point in the interview, Piers Morgan brought up the most shocking aspects of Jaguar Wright's revelations. Wright has accused high-profile figures in the industry of not only exploiting artists financially, but also engaging in more sinister behavior, including abuse and other dark practices. Dame Dash didn't seem surprised by these accusations. In fact, he said that Wright's willingness to speak out was commendable. "It takes guts to do what she's doing," Dash said, "because when you go against powerful people, they don't just sit back and take it." He pointed out that many people in the industry know about the kind of behavior Wright is talking about, but are too afraid to say anything. "People are scared," Dash said. "They don't want to lose their careers or worse." Dash praised Wright for having the courage to expose these dark secrets, but he also warned that the road ahead would be difficult for her. "When you start telling the truth, they come after you," he said. "They'll try to discredit you. They'll try to ruin your life. But if you're strong, you can survive it." Piers Morgan asked Dash if he believed that Jaguar Wright's revelations would have any lasting impact on the industry. Dash was cautiously optimistic. "I think it's going to wake some people up," he said, "but the people in power aren't going to change unless they're forced to. And the only way to force change is for more people to speak out." Dame Dash then turned the conversation to why so many artists stay silent about the exploitation they face. According to Dash, fame itself is a trap that keeps people from speaking out. "Once you get famous, you don't want to lose it," Dash said. "You'll do whatever it takes to stay relevant." This, Dash explained, is how the industry keeps artists under control. "They know you're scared to lose your spot, so they use that fear against you," he said. "They make you feel like you're replaceable, like if you don't do what they want, they'll find someone else." This fear of losing fame and fortune is what keeps many artists from speaking out against the abuses they endure. Dash talked about how artists are often isolated from the real world, living in bubbles where they're surrounded by yes men and people who are only interested in making money off them. "You don't have anyone telling you the truth," he said. "All you have are people who want to keep you working, keep you making money for them." This isolation, combined with the pressure to maintain their success, makes it nearly impossible for artists to break free from the cycle of exploitation.
How many betrayals we talked about with Jay? This ain't the first one, but this the first one we talking about because the only one affected us. So for me, I'm like, big deal, everybody over. Jermaine Dupri's stupid for listening to him. That's what I think. We all know Jay. So once he does what he did, how he did Roc-A-Fella, why do you think he'd do anything else? That's Jay. Those principles don't mean anything. Jay runs with the bag, period. That's it. All right, cool. So if you that man, that's on you. I'm not gonna be a wet wounded duck and go, "Oh, this nigga, he played Roc-A-Fella, he played Biggs, he played everybody." No, we all know he did that. Y'all just wasn't saying shit. We all know what Jay did and how he did it. There is no more Roc-A-Fella. Roc-A-Fella was rolling. Is there a Roc-A-Fella now?
No.
Who benefited from this?
Him.
So he went that way, the way where he does things this way, and all his friends end up working for him, and I go this way where the people I love end up being my partners. But what I am mad about is I haven't seen a reasonable doubt royalty in like 10 years. I can say that. And I want to know where my money is.
Yeah, I think in the beginning it's about you and your circle. Okay. Right? You take your circle, you got the people that grind with you every day and share your dreams and slept on the floor with you, and and then you make it out. And then you look and he's like, okay, what else? Right? What else? Like, how else can I be of service? You achieve these goals that you thought were unattainable in the beginning, and you achieve them, and then you look around and you say, okay, how can we duplicate this? The reason we created Roc Nation was to be able to say, okay, this is all the information we gathered. Here it is, Rihanna. Here it is, Kanye. Whomever, right? Like, and just like here's the information. So if we achieve those goals at 36, you do it at 26.
As someone who has spent decades in the music industry, Dame Dash has seen firsthand how the system works. He talked about his own battles with the industry, particularly during his time at Roc-A-Fella Records. "We were young, but we knew the game," Dash said. "We knew they were trying to control us, but we weren't going to let that happen." Dash credited much of Roc-A-Fella's success to the fact that they were able to maintain their independence. "We didn't answer to anybody," he said. "We made our own decisions, and that's why we were so successful." However, Dash admitted that this independence also made them targets. "People don't like it when you don't play by their rules," he said. "We made a lot of enemies because we didn't want to be controlled." He went on to explain how the industry tried to undermine Roc-A-Fella's success by offering them bad deals, spreading rumors, and even pitting them against each other. "They'll do whatever they can to break you down," Dash said, "but if you stay strong and stick to your principles, you can survive it." As the interview came to a close, Piers Morgan asked Dame Dash if he believed the music industry would ever change. Dash was skeptical. "The people in power don't want to change," he said. "They've been making money off this system for too long." However, Dash did express some hope that more artists would start to speak out, following in the footsteps of Jaguar Wright. "The only way things will change is if enough people stand up and say no more," he said. "But that takes courage, and not everyone has it." Dash ended the interview with a powerful message to artists. Don't let them control you. Know your worth, and don't be afraid to fight for it. The music industry might be a machine designed to exploit, but Dame Dash's words offer a glimmer of hope for those willing to break free and forge their own path. If you care about artists controlling their stories, share your thoughts in the comments. Your voice can help raise awareness. Let's support those who speak out against unfairness in the music industry. Stay updated on discussions about the music industry by clicking the subscribe button. Don't forget to ring the bell for notifications. We'll bring you the latest videos that inform and empower. Have you or someone you know faced challenges in the music industry? We want to hear your experiences. Comment below or reach out on social media. Together we can build a community that stands for change. If you found Dame Dash's message inspiring, share this video with your friends. Spreading the word is important for creating change. Let's work for a music industry that values and protects its artists.